sweetheart who's standing over there. We now have two amazing kids who go to Siebert Elementary School. So I've never been sure of that phrase, everything happens for a reason, but I will always be grateful of what his tragedy, my uncle's tragedy, taught me about resiliency and about rising above in our times of greatest sorrow. And it made me see what we are all capable of. And it made me realize that I want to serve. So because of Flint, I've spent the last 17 years of my career in human resources. I've come to believe, and I got into human resources because I think that work can be more meaningful and more fulfilling and safer on our bodies and allow us a degree of security and development that my family lacked in the auto industry. And because of my uncle's death, I have focused my career in the nonprofit sector. The shooting, his death, was for sure a tragedy for him and for my family. But I've come to believe that it was also a tragedy for the 5 young people who were involved in his shooting. I believe that there were actually 6 victims that night in that cold parking lot. 6 victims whose lives were over that night, because I've seen how we are all just one moment, one nightmare, one bad decision away from a lifetime of sorrow and tragedy. But I have also seen what happens when individuals and programs with passion and compassion work together. So I believe that all people have worth and deserve dignity. And I believe, and I've spent my career knowing that when we support those among us who need us, we can turn their pain and their sorrow into action, and that action has the potential to change the world. So I do think that my recipe of experience and education and passion and grit and, yes, bias for action, they have prepared me to be your representative in the 98th District. So if you know me, and many of you do, you know that I am not a lifelong politician. But what I am is a good listener, which I think is an essential skill for an effective leader. For the past 2 months, I have spent every moment possible listening. I've had conversations with over 200 members of our community, and at length we have discussed the issues that you care about, and I'm here to tell you that your issues are my issues too. Have been with Republicans and Democrats and independents. They've included young voters and mature voters and business owners and students and teachers. They have involved farmers and scientists and immigrants and people of all faiths and economic status and religion and sexual orientation and races. And they have offered this amazing and beautiful opportunity for me to experience the wonderful diversity of our community. And from this dialogue, I have heard your concerns. You are worried about the stability of business in our community, and you're fearful of whether or not the jobs that exist today will exist tomorrow for you and in the future for our children. You're thinking about education and the inequality that exists within our education system, and you're concerned about the impact of standardized testing on our students and our teachers and our school climate, and you are worried about the safety of our children in their classrooms. You're concerned about the environment. This includes the immediate threat that the Enbridge oil pipeline represents in the Straits of Mackinac. Yes. And it also includes the disastrous impact that our dependency on fossil fuels will have to our future. And you are agonizing over how to care for your loved ones, how to care for your aging parents as they enter nursing homes, how will you care for your children with special needs or your friends with mental health issues, and you worry about your own health should our inadequate healthcare system fail you. But most of all, you are tired. Tired of the political polarization in our country. You've grown so weary, as have I, of the inability of those in power to do the hard work of leadership. And you would like legislators to find real solutions and choose the good of the people over their party and over their re-election efforts. But that's not what's happening in Lansing today, is it? The direction of our state government has not been positive under current leadership. Right now in Lansing, we have an emergency manager law that unfairly targets communities of color and led directly to the poisoning of the water and the children of Flint, some of whom are members of my family. Right now in Lansing, we have proposed legislation that would put guns in our children's classrooms and in our childcare and in our colleges. Right now in Lansing, we have leaders who refuse to act against credible threats to our Great Lakes. Right now in Lansing, we have legislators who are spending their time legislating the languages that are used in our classroom while our teachers have not seen fair pay increases in years. And right now in Lansing, we have leaders in power who have spoken so clearly in their words and their deeds that they are not on the side of Michigan's people. Also seen some negligence politically right here at home in our 98th district. Many here have felt like no one was listening to you and that no one even cares what your concerns are. I believe that a representative who presses forward with his or her pet projects without listening to the members of the district is not what you want. And I believe that a representative who announces office hours the day before they're supposed to happen is not what you want. And I believe that a representative who says publicly, I don't know why they're talking to me, they know I won't change my mind, is not what you want. What I have heard that you want in Lansing is new leadership, a leader who will listen to and stand with you. We need a leader that rejects the fallacy of false choices, one who knows that we don't have to choose between the Second Amendment and safety. There are plenty of things that we can do to keep communities safer from gun violence and still affirm the right to own guns safely. that we don't have to choose between supporting business and the rights of workers. I know from my HR experience that when companies have fair benefits and fair salaries, then workers are more committed and more productive, and that can lead to benefits for businesses and communities. We can have both healthy businesses and healthy workers.